What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. And we are back. It is another Monday. It is another day to get a daily trade recap out of the way. And it was a pretty good day today, considering all things. All things being, the last trade that I took was not a very good trade. I didn't get in where I should have gotten in at. I probably should have stopped out on this thing a whole lot sooner than I didn't. But I traded the chart and I told myself, if this thing does a certain thing, I'll get out of the trade for whatever the loss is going to be. So that is the way that we traded that. Let's go ahead. Let's get that P&L on the screen for the day. Reviewing trades for January 23rd, 2023. Took 6 trades. Closed P&L 181 with 1 red trade on the board. That red trade was a donation. I'll get that out the way right now. It was a donation. I was basically thinking that the market was going to do something, and the market said, nope, we're not going to do that. I took my stop and I kept it pushing. After that trade, after that red trade right there, I ended up leaving. I had an appointment that I had to go to, sat back down, and I took this trade in the afternoon. Made 52 bucks on the SPY. This was the same contract. So I got back green on that contract. This is the trade that I was just referring to, where I said that wasn't really a good entry, and I didn't know it was a good entry until I put some additional information on the chart. So let's go ahead. Let's get that main screen pulled up, and we will get to reviewing. If you hadn't already hit that like button on your way in, I would greatly appreciate it if you do. We'll go ahead and turn. Oh, that wasn't the right button. Let's try that again. That one. Turn on the highlighter. There we go. So let's take a peek at the SPY real quick. Look at what the SPY did. Pretty much just hung out right around previous high of day, which would have been Friday's high of day. The market opened, got a little flush, and then this thing took off. And if you looked at my recap on Friday, I thought that it may have did this during the pre-market this morning. I thought it would have got up to 400. Nope, waited till the market opened. Shot straight on up to 400. And then it broke 400. And then we see it chopped around. I took a trade. This was that late afternoon or that afternoon trade right up in here. I probably shouldn't have took that one, but I did. And we still made it work, though. Still made it work. What I do want to do is, let's go ahead. Let's get Tesla and BA out of the way first. And then we can kind of go over that SPY. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one out the way real quick. Why don't I see today's trades? I'm on the right contract. I am. Let's try to swap contracts and see. There we go. I told you. Thinkorswim, good platform. I like it. Used to say that it was free before I was trading options, but it can be finicky at times. And let me turn off the highlighted just to tighten this chart up a little bit more. And let's look at this trade here. And what was this? This was a call. Getting in on this candle right there. Just looking at the chart. This was a chase Trying to see if anything shows me basically buying a high of day on the 5. Let's switch over to the 2-minute real quick. Yeah, no real pattern. No real pattern. We'll switch it back to the 1 minute. Oh, hold on. I'm about to confuse myself. I need to be on today 1 minute. There we go. Let's see where we got out of this one at. Got out right here. So good exit, one contract, but really no real pattern. I'm gonna drop a line right there. Actually, we'll drop it right there. You see over here is the breakout. That would have been a decent entry, but right here, and I'm not sure where exactly in that candle I would have been buying, but nah, it's not really a good entry. Made $14 on that trade. Let's go ahead and look at BA. BA has the trade showing up. That's good. This has to be a put because this is headed downhill. Let me change that back to an arrow. I'm going to drop it right there because that's where I would have wanted to been getting in at. Let's go ahead and drop where we got out of these at. Would have been wanting to get out. Really would have wanted to been getting out down there at the bottom, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't. Let's see where we got out at on the actual option candle. And then this will give me an idea where we got out on the chart candle. That's not bad. And right there, this was something that I spoke to Evan about in the Discord today. Scaling out. I lose money when I scale out a lot of times. So based on that candle, we would have been getting out somewhere down there at the bottom. Not bad. And then this one here, getting out as it was coming back up to here. But you notice I lost $6 in the process of trying to scale out right there. Thought process on this trade, pretty self-explanatory. Boeing kind of just chopped around right here. And it came to previous high of day. And I was playing this flush back down. I had dropped this on the chart based on these tails over here. So this was going to be my area of concern, my target. And I got target out of it. It's just the contract that I bought. Actually, two things. This thing was super spready on the option contract. So when I market it in, I got a horrible feel. And then when I market it out of these, I got a horrible feel coming out. So this trade went exactly like I wanted it to go. And I made $12 on 2 contracts. Something else that I had mentioned to Evan when we were chatting today. I like the SPY because I know what the SPY is going to do on moves like this. And now I'm looking though, this really was not a big move. That was from $208 down to $107.50. So that's really just a 50-cent move. If this would have went $1, would have been like $25. So still not as good as what I'd be expecting out of the SPY. And these contracts were $200 a contract. I may have to leave Boeing alone when it comes to option trade because it does not pay like a SPY contract would pay. And let's go ahead, let's knock out these SPY trades. Let's get this call out of the way first. I think these were the first ones. Let's see. So that one, the first one we took was at 10:05. Let's look at this put and see what time that was at. The first one. Man, pretty good. So we didn't really take nothing. Okay, yep. That was a losing trade there. Let's go back. Let's recap the calls. And man, I'm looking at the amount that these are at right now. Now it wants to not show them. Let's go back. Let's do that, and there they are. These contracts right now are selling for $392 a contract. I paid $282. So they are up $100 right now. What did I pay for that first one? $242. All right, let's go ahead. Let's drop some arrows on the chart and let's get to looking. First trade right there. And let's see where we got out of that trade. Right there. Pretty good. This is another one me and Evan talked about. And Evan chatted pretty good. He was on vacation last week, so didn't really chat that much. But we see that the SPY opened, kind of just chopped along. This was a crazy candle, ain't it? That big old tail on the bottom of it. But SPY came up to this area, pulled back. I didn't have this line up here. I dropped it after we got that point right there. But it came down and held VWAP. Held VWAP, and I got in. And actually, no, this is not the right one. I think it'll be another one on the 1 minute chart where it's not going to look pretty on the 1 minute chart. But got in right there. Good entry. First area of concern is going to be right here because of this line. So came up, it broke and it held. Looked like it was coming back down, and I got out. See, it kept on going. But watch what I did. And this is the one right here. This is the trade. There we go. So I got out right there. I got back in right here. And then I stayed in that trade until right here. This candle here. One thing. You notice I have all these lines on the chart. Look at how it's respecting it. And the market is now closed. This line has been on the chart prior to, because you see it's way over here somewhere. I probably could have stayed in this trade until it came up there, because look at what it did. It came up, tapped it, and then just held on it. So I could have possibly made a few more dollars right there. But this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to remove this arrow here. And Evan was like, when you took that trade, what did you see? Because you buying into a top and tail that's red. And the thing was, I was looking at a 2 minute chart. So I'm going to swap this to a 2 minute chart. And this is where I was getting in now. I'm going to remove that arrow so that you can kind of see it. It's actually a bottom and tail on the 2 minute chart. So you get a totally different picture. So I was like, check the 2 minute chart and then you'll kind of see it. And he was like, yeah, lo and behold. But got in right there. Like I said, easily could have traded this up to this line right here. We see that it finally broke it. And this is where I said the SPY was just strong. So coming into this morning, my thought, the SPY is going to get up to 399.50. That's right about this area. And if it breaks, it's going to go possibly higher. If not, I'm going to look to short this back down. But I was like, and when we were chatting, I was like, I probably should wait till this gets up to 400 and see what it does. So I didn't. I was impatient. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the put trades that we took now. And let's do that. There we go. Yeah, like I said, think or swim can be finicky. So let's see. We were getting in on this candle right here. So as the SPY came up to 399.50 area, my thought process, and it was flawed, and it was flawed for a couple of reasons. The first one is this moving average is still in an uptrend. The chart is still in an uptrend. Why would you take a trade thinking that it's going to pull back and go down? Now, this thing was super extended on the 30-minute chart. Super extended. I'm going to change this over to the 30-minute chart. There we go. And I'm going to swap this to there so you can see those arrows. So this is me getting in to go short. And you see where we're at on the 30-minute chart. So I'm thinking it's coming up here. We have to get a pullback. We have to get a pullback at least back down the previous high of day. Wrong. As Charlie Murphy would say, wrong. Stop out as it breaks this area and I lose like 15, 16 bucks. And I was done at that point, had to leave, had to go take care of some business. And then I came back and I saw the market still in a tear. And I'm going to remove that right there for now. I'm going to remove that trend line. And I'm going to show you the trades. Let's see here. First thing you should notice, and you really can't because this is wrong chart to be looking at noticing. I was going to say that you see that this is in a downtrend. But of course, the option contract is in a downtrend because it's losing money. The stock is still in an uptrend. So I buy a put right here, and that's a bad drop because I know where I bought it at. I bought it on that side right there because I'm thinking. That's bad. That's bad when I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this is about to come down and make a move down. The SPY is up too high. It has to come back down. Again, wrong. So I buy right here and the SPY starts pushing higher. And when it starts pushing higher, now I look over here at this point and I draw a trend line. So I'm going to draw that trend line, extend it out to the right. And then I convert it into a channel. So redraw as a channel. And I put it up on that high side, somewhere around right there. And I said, you big dummy. You just bought the bottom of a channel. It's about to go back higher. And look at what it did. It went back higher. So as it's going up, I buy another put right there. Let me change that back to an arrow. I buy another put right here. Because I'm like, okay, this is coming back up to the top of this channel. Again, this line right here wasn't on the chart. I dropped it after this kind of set this little breakout right there. So I buy another put right there. You can see it here. I bought first two for 160. And then I bought this one for 153. And I'm like, come on, dude. This is still in an uptrend. What are you doing? Good thing was I bought these with time. They had time on them. So here's where the good thinking finally came in. Make sure, yep, let's keep going. I'm going to keep going to where I finally got out at. And then when I get there, I could drop the lines. So as this was going in this uptrend, my thought, my plan was, if this breaks the upper trend line, so if it breaks it and it retests and it goes higher outside of the trend line, I will get out of this trade for whatever the loss is going to be. Whatever the loss is going to be. So this comes up, kind of breaks out, and it fails. And now I'm like, all right, we might be on to something. So this thing comes over, it breaks out of the lower channel. And now I'm like, yeah, we really doing something now. We get this flush down, keeps coming, kind of trades along this line right here that we got. Boom, flushes down, starts trading along this next line that we have right here. Now you see the importance of putting those lines on the chart. Comes down, and actually, see, we're out of the trade over here. So let me drop these arrows real quick. So I get out right here as it's coming down to this area right here. And then I get out of the next one right here. Same candle. And look, again, scaling out. First two I get out for 176. Next one I get out and I lose $3 on. I probably could have put this to break even and just let this thing work and make money. But ended up stopping out of it. Got in that contract for 172 and it's closed, or it closed at 172. I'm sorry. So holding this to the end of the day wouldn't have really been the play, because you can actually look and see it's right back where I got out at. Down here though, what was it at down there? Let's see. About 226, 225. That was another $50 per contract. So again, holding this one possibly could have made another 50 bucks. But that was the thought process. What y'all think about that thought process? Should I have taken my stop? I probably would have stopped out, because again, this was a bad play to be coming down here. Probably would have stopped out about right there on the top side of this. But once I drew this channel, I said, if the SPY breaks the channel, retest, and continues higher, I'm done, because this move is going higher. As long as it's in this channel, it's a little constricted on how high it can go, because it's confined. But once it broke out to whatever side, and we just got good, it broke out on the side that we needed it to break out on. Once it broke out to that side, we were good. So that was it. That was my day. Fairly long recap today. As always, I appreciate y'all checking me out. If you hadn't already hit that like button, please do so. If you are so inclined to subscribe, please think about doing that as well. As always, it would help me out in these YouTube streets. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. How did y'all do today? Looking at the market this morning, it was money to be made. And all of the tech stocks look like it, because everything was running. I missed quite a few opportunities to get some good trades in, but end of the day, we finished in green. I did take one put play on the SPY in my Webull account. Lost $10 on that one. Ended up just taking the stop. Didn't want to play it like I was playing this. It didn't have time on that contract. So had I tried to wait that one out, theta would have went against me. So even if it finally would have turned somewhere around here, end of the day, theta would have just ate any profits up that I might have been able to make. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.